Good morning, Vancouver. It's Thursday, March the 28th, and from the drunk tank formerly known as the Polonais, this is Colonel St. News. In the lovely Vancouver Island community of Nanoose Bay, a metal sculpture of a velociraptor, sitting at about a meter tall and weighing 30 kilos, was stolen for some nefarious purpose. The police are calling on the public to keep their eyes open, as they find it hard to believe that anyone could miss it. The owner is understandably quite upset and is currently tracking the thieves in a fully functional Mechagodzilla. Guys, I'd return it if I were you. The Coldwater Indian Band in Merritt is putting their foot down and demanding the Ministry of Indian Affairs to step in on their behalf and block the expansion of the Kinder Morgan pipeline through their land. It's a fair request, as who really wants horrible toxic sludge with little use besides lining greedy white men's pockets going through sensitive ecosystems? I am, of course, talking about the bitumen and not the Merritt Mountain Music Festival. A Slow News Day study quoted by the province and the Vancouver Sun both found that if given $1 million, 34% of Vancouverites would buy a house on a lot in the suburbs. The article tells us that 34% is a representative of what most Vancouverites would do. But if you look at the breakdown of the stats here, you'll see that what the study is actually saying is that different people will do different things with money. What a shock. I particularly enjoyed how almost a quarter of respondents just kind of threw their hands up in the air and said, "Can I just keep the money for whatever?" Last week, 2 troublesome teens went on a SkyTrain steak knife stabbing rampage. Do you guys remember that? Well, you'll be delighted to know that one of them is out on bail. The unnamed 14-year-old, who didn't do any of the stabbings but rather just watched, was released with several conditions like obeying curfew and not taking the SkyTrain anymore. What a bummer. But at least she can still take the bus, that sacred place where nothing bad ever happens. Hey, folk rock fans, Mumford & Sons are coming to town in May. Those of you scrambling for tickets may notice that, well, 1, that the tickets aren't on sale yet, but that 2, the venue is in Holland Park in Surrey, and that there are no other stops in all of BC. Apparently, Mumford & Sons were devoted to having a concert in a green space, and apparently Surrey is the only city that has such a venue. Sorry, Malkin Bowl. The show is expected to sell out, but I'm willing to bet that the band from the UK will be a little perturbed at the difference between the Surrey they're used to and our substitution. Don't be surprised if instead of driving off after the show, they fly away in a helicopter before the show is over. Last week, we here at NSHG Films declared war on the Anti-Gentrification Front, an anarchist wannabe group with oversized egos and very, very small penises for their assault on our favorite pizzeria. Famoso, try their salted chocolate Pepsi floats. Well, those drooling morons struck again while we were in production of last week's episode and made off with a sandwich board sign from Save On Meats, thus proving once and for all that 1, they have no credibility, and 2, they probably have no idea what the word gentrification means. You diarrhea-drinking yahoos honestly have no idea how much Save On Meats brings to the downtown east side, do you? You honestly believe your cause is so righteous that not even a business that hires and feeds people in the community is safe? What do you say to the fact that they ran so many social outreach services in the last few years that they were running a deficit but still refused to compromise on those services? You morons make the IRA look like patriots. I hope your moms stop letting you use the minivan for your excursions so you're stuck playing World of Warcraft and masturbating to your own characters. Go die in a fire. That's all the news we have for you this week, folks. Join us next week, provided I'm not found dead in the trunk of a minivan.